Alright, so here's a bit different video. Today we're going to talk about dreams, more specifically nightmares. So prior to this, I basically compiled a list of all the nightmares I've had that I'm willing to talk about, and I'll describe them the best I can using images to help out when I can. Okay, so this first section is going to be recurring nightmares that I have now. So one of the more common ones I have is where I'll be at like a party or something in basically whatever venue you can think of, a swimming pool, a dance hall, a high school that will be ridiculously huge and sometimes contain a shopping mall and a pool because dream logic. And things will be fun, but then I look away for like 1 second or look towards the wall for 1 second, and then all the lights will be out, everybody was gone. If I was at the party with somebody, they'd be gone too. Or sometimes the person I was there with just disappears with everyone else still there, and I can never find them before I wake up. Okay, now this is just regular nightmares I've had in the past that I've only had once. Yeah, one of the ones I had recently where I was getting attacked by these mosquito-like bug things that burrow underneath your skin, hurt and are somehow impossible to kill despite only being a few inches tall. Okay, one of those is annoying. You have like 4 or 5 of them, like bugs usually are. There's usually not just one of them around. It's like a big pain in the butt, man. Okay, another one I've had, there was a zombie baby that made very distinctive rattling sounds as it ran down the hallway at insane speeds. Yeah, I just kind of had a phase where I was deathly afraid of zombie babies. Or zombies in general. Zombies are just, they're gross. Rotten and everything. Creepy. Uncanny Valley and whatnot. Anyway, and another common theme I'll have in dreams that kind of goes along with the first example I gave, heavy fog or darkness or other visibility hindrance. Then sometimes you're alone, and sometimes there's stuff lurking around in the fog or whatever. Like for me, a lot of times it's wolves or giant dogs that are creepy as heck. Anyway, then of course ghosts. You always gotta dream about ghosts sometimes. I remember one dream when I was very young. I got out of bed, I fell down by the door, and then a procession of ghosts, not just one ghost, but like a solid freaking line of ghosts, charged into the room, threw the door open, and spoke very incoherently as they went. The best way I can describe it is just like kind of random crowd noise, like if you go to a crowded event or something, and just the noise of everybody around you talking and having their own conversations. It was kind of like that. Except I'm not on the floor, terrified as they're passing through me. And yeah, I was very young when that happened. And this happened again in another dream, but it wasn't really the main theme of that dream. So anyway, there was some girl that wanted me to give her my soul to sleep with me. We'll just put it that way. Be straightforward about it. And then I refuse. I kind of forget the exact details of the conversation after that, but then all of a sudden this door bursts open and then all these ghosts come in. Once again, it's just a solid freaking procession of ghosts. And they start filling the room. They might have been her previous victims. I don't know. They just kind of came out of nowhere. And there's other times which the ghosts were just kind of there and not really doing anything. Like they were some kind of hologram. They just kind of stayed in one place. They weren't necessarily scary. They were just there. Like there's a floating dead person that's kind of transparent and stuff. And here's one that's just really dark that I had a few years ago, maybe. I don't really remember. It was one where my parents killed my girlfriend and stuffed her body under the bed in my old room that I had when I was a child, which for some reason I still have in my dreams, even though I haven't actually slept in that room for several years. And actually, it belongs to my sister now, so yeah. This evil version of my parents is also kind of a recurring theme. What exactly they do that is so evil varies a lot from dream to dream. And they're not in every dream. They just kind of randomly pop up sometimes, being evil. There was another where I found my girlfriend dead in an empty, dilapidated swimming pool with a spear through her chest. And that was kind of a really dark and terrifying image that has not left my mind to this day, despite it not even being real. And I never found out what was responsible for that one. There was no explanation. It just happened. Okay, and this next section is kind of funny and just slightly scary dreams I've had. There's kind of some creepiness to them, but they're more funny than creepy, basically. So, the first one on this list, I had one where Mothman, like from the myth and everything, was attempting to keep me from entering a gas station to buy sodas. He just didn't want me to buy sodas for some reason. Maybe he just wanted me to be healthy, I don't know. I had one where I was fighting a demon that had possessed some kid's Thomas the Tank Engine toy. Cue giant Thomas abomination. Like, robot demon Thomas the Tank Engine, basically. That one wasn't really scary. It was just kind of more of a fighting dream, where you're just kind of fighting stuff that you're not exactly scared of, but, like, from the kid's perspective, it was terrifying, but still. I had a dream where I went on an epic adventure, which I don't remember. I hate it when I have dreams like that. And then somehow I ended up in a log cabin. Then a creepy blue zombie guy appeared for like less than 1 second behind me. Like I saw his face for maybe 1 split second, and then I just noped the heck out and woke up because I'm not even dealing with it. No creepy blue zombie guys, please. I've had, these aren't really nightmares, but I've had lots of dreams where I had epic adventures, and in dream I really wanted to have them all over again, but you know, the second time around is never the same as the first. I guess it's kind of a representation of life in general, maybe. I don't know. There's some hidden deep meaning to that. I don't know. That's not really the topic of this video. I've had lots of dreams that follow the general plot line of I fall in love with somebody and something terrible happens to them shortly afterwards. Sometimes they die. Sometimes they magically turn into an inanimate object. Other times they just disappear with no resolve. I've had many dreams like that all throughout my life, and that's about the end of it. Okay, now this is probably the weirdest but most epic strange dream ever. Okay, I was like 5 years old, and I had a dream where there were these 3 stripperific girls in my room. And despite what all of you would think, I was 5. This is the list of nightmares, not crazy fantasies. So needless to say, they were not very nice. Dialogue went like this. I don't remember all of it, so I'm making some of it up, but like, either girl 2 or girl 3 said, "What do we do with boys?" Girl 1, "We smash their stuff." Cue girl with sledgehammer smashing something. It might have been one of my toys at the time, I honestly don't remember. Girl 2, the most graphic. "We cut off their heads." And then, yeah, she cuts some random biker guy's head off with a fire axe, basically. And the guy screams as it happens, and then this, because of my limited understanding of gore at the time, this really cheesy pinkish colored confetti looking stuff comes out of his neck as his head plops to the floor. It looked believable enough to me at the time, but now it just looks like a really cheesy 80s movie effect. That's about the best way to put it. Anyway, it was in one of those things you trap people's heads and arms, and I don't remember what they're called at the moment, and it was literally just some random guy, like some character I generated up out of nowhere, just like the girls themselves, basically. And girl 3 said we burn their things. and cute third girl with flamethrower burning things. Probably more of my stuff. I honestly don't remember. It might have been we cut their off, but I'm not really sure what the third girl said. It was, like I said, I was 5. Girls were still icky at that age, which I guess explains that. Anyway, there was one where we had this Dotson and my brother, who at the time had died very recently, had swapped heads. I had another dream when said brother was just a baby and I was going to hold him, but then I dropped him and his head broke open into 2 pieces. Inside his head, because, once again, just like the dream with the stripper chicks, I had no idea what the inside of somebody's head was supposed to look like. So instead of blood and gore and all this other crap, it was just solid maroon. Like kind of a bone marrow color, basically. Like if you get like a chicken leg and you break it in half and the brown stuff that's inside, it was kind of that color. Yeah. Weird dream. And of course, my parents were mad at me for it. They weren't exactly evil in that dream. That's, to be honest. I mean, I did basically just kill my brother on accident, but still. And this next section is recurring nightmares that I had when I was really young and are therefore completely ridiculous. Okay, first off, I mentioned that my brother died earlier. Yeah, that was a long time ago, though. That was like a decade ago. And I had lots of nightmares related to the above mentioned death, and that will never be mentioned again. I'm not talking about that ever again. We're done. No more talking about that. So anyway, when I was really, really young, I used to have furnace dreams where I would be chased down the hallway by something that I referred to as a furnace at that age. But really, it looked nothing like a furnace. It was more like a big wood grain stereo speaker box. It made a shuffling sound as it slid across the floor all by itself. I would blame various things for giving me these dreams, such as TV shows I didn't like. Although the correlation was negligible, it may have had some sort of placebo effect. What was so scary about a sentient speaker box? I don't know, and I will never know. I mean, it didn't have a face or anything. I was literally just being chased by a sentient speaker box. Finally, I used to have dreams where I would get up to get water or something, and then I would go back to my room, and there was this big black blob of a monster with bright green eyes and a huge green mouth that would jump out and say "Rah!" as loudly as it possibly could. I'm not making this up. That's what I thought a monster looked like and or did at that time. I was really young. I refer to it as the trash bag monster because if you put big yellow eyes and a big yellow greenish glowing mouth on a trash bag, you pretty much get what I mean. It was also vaguely spiky too, like the silhouette of a mountain or something. All it ever did was pop up at the end of the bed or whatever the opposite side of the bed was from my perspective in the dream and shout "Raw." No backstory or anything. I usually woke up after it said that. Anyway, that concludes all the nightmares I've had that I'm willing to talk about. Thank you for watching, or more properly, just listening, as there isn't really much to watch in this video, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. What are some of the crazy nightmares that you've had, for instance, would be something to comment about, I guess. Anyway, look out for the next video, whenever that will be. Thank you for watching. This is S9716, signing off for now.